guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you're new here, my name is Patty. Today's video is going to be an end of year motivational reset going into 2025. So we're about 2 weeks into November, and I personally have been seeing a lot of videos recently that are more so focused on resetting your life, trying to amp yourself up for your goals to be able to hit successfully in 2025. And also for people who just want to kind of get a head start on your goals and things you want to focus on in the next year. So I've been looking a lot into that content and also just thinking about the things that I want to be focusing on to end the year strong and start the year off strong as well. So I'm gonna walk you through my goals, what I've been doing to help reach those goals and everything like that. So let's get started. I have this list here that I will screenshot and add here. And none of these are in any particular order, but they're all somewhat interconnected goals and things that I, again, want to be focusing on to just improve my life and my habits. So starting off with my first goal, reduce screen time. And in parentheses, I put delete social media off your phone. So one of the reasons I wanted to start doing this is because, one, I feel like, and this kind of started a few years ago when I deleted TikTok, I feel like my attention span was just shorter. I was not making time for other things that I felt were important to me or things that I wanted to get done. And then it also just made me unhappy because I was constantly comparing myself to other people that had more things, that had, you know, looked a certain way and everything like that. And I feel like it just wasn't a good place for me to be spending so much of my time on it. And also the fact that it's just a lot of screen time. So deleted TikTok a few years ago while I was in college. And then also this past weekend, I deleted Instagram. And that doesn't mean I'm gonna completely restrict myself from going on those platforms. TikTok, every probably 6 months or so, I'll re-download and just go look at some funny TikToks that my friends are showing me, or just look back at the old ones that I made in college and just make fun of myself, something like that. Instagram, I'm also not restricting myself too much on that. I am gonna allow myself to download it every once in a while, like maybe every weekend or so, every Sunday or whatever, just to be able to catch up with friends and stuff like that, because I would definitely say that that platform is my main way to catch up with people that I don't talk to on a regular basis. But again, I was just spending so much time on social media that it was taking away time from the things that I truly felt like were things I wanted to do, things that I should be spending my time on, and things that were important to me. So kind of going into one of those things. Another goal that I have is reduce overconsumption and unnecessary spending on myself. I'm incredibly lucky that I have a good job, got a good job straight out of college, and have a good salary, especially living in the Bay Area. I'm incredibly lucky that I can say that, but that doesn't mean I should use that as an excuse to spend more and live above my means. I feel like recently I have just been spending way more money than I need to, especially because I just got a raise at work as well. I was spending more money than I need to. Like, I started doing SoulCycle classes twice a week. I started shopping more. I started spending more money on takeout and stuff like that. So most of those things I feel like are unnecessary and not as important to me for my personal and mental well-being. The SoulCycle classes, I will say working out is one of the things that I kind of splurge on, but I'm not necessarily gonna stop myself from splurging on workout classes, because workout classes are something that I feel like benefit my well-being and kind of push me to be a better version of myself. The only thing that I want to be spending my money on in terms of shopping is gifts for other people. Obviously, I'm not going to stop buying gifts for people for the holidays, for their birthdays and stuff like that. Like, I still would like to be generous with my money to others. But the only exception that I'm gonna make for myself is buying more workout clothes, because my athleisure collection right now is very minimal and I have been focusing a lot on working out. So I think I just need to, you know, get more and higher quality pieces in general. But again, that is the only thing, the only exception that I'm gonna make for shopping. And then again, with eating out, I am someone who prides myself a lot in cooking for myself, because I have grown up with stomach problems, so it's nice to know what's going in my food, and I also know what makes me feel good, and also just the amount of money that I save in not eating out. So that is another goal that kind of goes into not having social media. I think overconsumption is a byproduct of a lot of social media use, because you're just seeing so many people buy a million things, constantly eating out, having the nicest things all the time and the newest things at all times. But I do not want to be that person. I definitely want to be living at or below my means. And I also don't want to be flooding myself with things that I don't need. So that is interconnected. So as I mentioned before, I recently started running. So that is something that's nice, that's essentially free. So I could reduce the amount of money that I'm spending on workout classes. The reason that I started running is because I 2 weekends ago saw one of my best friends run the New York City Marathon. Truly one of the most inspiring things. One, to see your friend do something incredibly hard for themselves mentally, physically, and the fact that they could just push themselves to do something like that and set a goal that crazy is just so inspiring. And also just cheering strangers on during the run just like really filled me up with so much happiness that I was inspired to start running. And I will potentially be signing up for a half marathon in February, so stay tuned for that. So one of my goals is to stick to my training. I'm aiming to run minimum 3 times a week, up to 4 or 5 times a week, hopefully as the training progresses. So I'm on a 14-week training program right now, the Nike Run Club app. So if you're at all into running and you don't use that app, I totally recommend. Also add me on Strava if any of you guys are on there. But anyway, one of my goals is to stick to that training plan and hopefully eventually run a half marathon. And then after the half marathon, if I still love running, hopefully I can work to continue running after the half marathon. But for now, my goal is literally to just stick to the training for 14 weeks. Another goal of mine has to do with my personal love for reading and also my want to do more for my YouTube channel is to read 1 book a week. So again, tying back to my first goal of having less screen time, I feel like I'm constantly internally to myself complaining like, oh my God, I wish I had more time to read. I wish I could read faster, blah, blah, blah. But in retrospect and in reality, I do have a lot of time to read. Like right now it's 5 p.m. on a work day. I don't go to bed until like 9:30. So I have basically 4.5 hours. And yeah, I would say like 1 to 2 hours is dedicated to talking to people and also making and eating dinner. But like that's still 2 hours of free time that I could be reading, and I'm just not because I'm scrolling on my phone or I'm watching TV. Like every once in a while that's completely okay. There's nothing wrong with, just having a lazy day and just not thinking. But I feel like most of the time I want to read, I crave to read, but I just don't make the time. So I feel like now that I've deleted my social media, I now have more time to read and can finish a book a week. Again, interwoven into that goal. My goal is to dedicate more time to my YouTube channel. So if you have at all been following me this past year or follow any of my content or have seen me multiple times, when I first started this channel, August of 2023, I was posting 1 to 2 times a week. And now I post maybe once every 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. So I definitely have not been focusing enough as I had wanted. But I think now, again, that I have less screen time, I'm consuming less media and I'm reading more. I'm gonna be making more time for my YouTube channel as well. So hopefully I could post at least once a week, hopefully twice a week. And then I also wanna implement more short content onto YouTube as well. Next thing that has to do more with my health, the things that I'm eating, and also the money that I'm spending. I want to implement more grocery lists and meal planning for the week. I remember last year, in the middle of the year, I had been meal planning every single week. I was planning my breakfast, my lunch, my dinner, and it worked out so well. I will admit that it does take a lot of effort, truly, to just like meal plan your entire week of breakfast, dinner, lunch, snacks, and everything like that. It is hard, but it's so worth it because I was sticking to my budget. I was sticking to a healthy meal plan. I wasn't overbuying or underbuying the amount of ingredients that I was buying because I knew that I was only feeding myself and then I know how much I consume every week. So I feel like I want to get back into that. I just got kind of lazy and stopped doing it because again, it does take a lot of effort, but I promise you guys, it is well worth it. And I recommend getting into it if you're trying to stick to a budget, trying to stick to a meal plan, meal prepping, stuff like that, all of those things. It really helps a lot. And my last goal to finish off the year strong and start 2025 in a really good note is using Notion. And I feel like a lot of YouTubers use Notion for so many different things. I personally don't really know a lot of people who use it in their personal life, but I feel like if you are at all someone who likes to plan, someone who does content creation, someone who likes to stick to workouts, healthy eating, meal planning, meal prepping, all of that, any of that sort of stuff, I totally recommend. I bought this Notion template for about 20-25 bucks from Flourish Planner. If you aren't subscribed to Flourish Planner or don't follow her on any social media, I totally recommend, because all of her content is based around planning and just making the most of your day, your week, your month. Totally recommend looking at her stuff. And also, you do not need to buy a Notion template to do any of these things to organize your life. I just bought hers because I am too lazy to make my own Notion template, and she kind of had everything that I feel like I needed for my Notion template. So I will link her template that I bought down below. And to wrap this all up, another thing that I feel like is going to give me motivation, this isn't necessarily a goal, but something that I feel like could be inspiring to you if you want to get on this train of being motivated to do a bunch of things that you wish you could have done throughout the year, or that you wish you could do for the rest of the year. Make a vision board. I have been spending all morning on Pinterest getting pictures ready to put my vision board together. But that is all for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys got something out of this. And thank you to the following content creators. There are two in particular that I don't know their usernames by heart. These two content creators, YouTubers, I specifically gained a lot of inspiration for this video from. Put their names here, and I recommend you guys go watch their videos, whether it's related to this or related to literally any other content that they have. I totally recommend. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and thank you guys so much for watching.